Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Daily Ripple, your no-fluff source for XRP news, market analysis, and updates that matter. We cover what's moving, why it matters, and where XRP might be headed next. If anything in this video does help you stay informed, please like, please subscribe, and please hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Let's go ahead and dive right into these charts. Overall market cap sitting at 2.9 trillion, taking a slight breather today. We got the investors unsure of what to do here, whether they're feeling fearful or confident. We don't know. It's sitting right in the neutral zone at 52. Bitcoin, King Bitcoin, sitting at 94,000, down 1.24% last 24 hours. Ethereum at 1788, down 1.94% over last 24 hours. And our main squeeze, our beloved XRP, sitting at 219, down about 4.21% last 24 hours. Now, we did take a little bit of a hit earlier today, dropping down to as low as $2.12, but we're starting to bounce back nicely. Currently, at this time of recording, sitting at 219, market cap at about 128 billion, and 24-hour volume sitting at 4 billion. We're still doing just fine, bouncing back from our little pullback today. Everything takes a breather from time to time, but we got some good things to talk about in this video today, so let's get right on into it. Guys, in a world of near instant payments, imagine the implications. Listen here to our fearless leader, Brad Garlinghouse, talking about this.
In the United States, you get paid once every 2 weeks. Has anybody thought about why you get paid once a month or once every 2 weeks? It comes down to the friction of payments. And if we can remove the friction of payments, why can't you get paid every day? Or even more crazily, why don't you get paid every hour or every second? You could have a stream of value showing up in your whatever repository of value. Now, why you need to get paid every second, I'm not sure. But I do think there's a lot of dynamics that have been built around getting paid every 2 weeks or getting paid every month. And as we remove the friction of payments and make that dramatically easier, I think you're going to see secondary and tertiary effects that are very difficult to predict, just like we couldn't have predicted Grab 20 years ago.
Okay, so imagine the implications of getting paid. I mean, I think every second's a little crazy, but just imagine getting paid every hour or even daily. Okay, so the implications of this, it doesn't just come down to getting paid from a company or getting payments. It's also going to boil down to things like, what if you paid your rent, your power bill, your water bill, your car insurance, your car payment by the day? These things can definitely happen now, and I think that would make things a lot easier. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And we have an abnormal 5,438% liquidation imbalance stuns XRP bulls in just 1 hour. XRP just printed a number that may make even experienced traders pause. A 5,438% imbalance in long versus short liquidations within 1 hour. This is not a typo. According to the liquidation heat map by CoinGlass, XRP saw $7.64 million in total liquidations over the past hour. $7.5 million of that from long positions. Shorts, just $140,000. But what happened? XRP's price action tells part of the story. The token dropped from the 220 region, breaching psychological support levels, before stabilizing near 216. The move, while not catastrophic in price terms, was enough to knock out leverage longs en masse, especially as cascading liquidations fed the drop. Most cryptocurrencies saw mixed liquidation ratios throughout the day, but XRP's case, over 98% of liquidation volume coming from one side. It stands out. It is the kind of move that suggests not just miscalculation, but mispositioning across the market. Whether it was overconfidence or a simple lag in non-stop automation, bulls clearly did not see this coming. Zooming out, the overall market was not left aside either. Over $374 million in total liquidations swept through the crypto space in just 24 hours, with more than 162,000 traders caught on the wrong side of that action. Bitcoin and Ethereum led the flush, with $33.68 million and $29.2 million in liquidations, respectively, largely echoing the same tilt that XRP, but without the same extreme imbalance. The largest liquidation order came from OKX's Bitcoin USDT pair, clocking in at over $5 million. Are we looking at a systemic long bias in XRP trades, or just a one-off flush before trend reversal? That is the question now. And here we have Matt Hougan's take on the XRP ETFs versus the Ethereum ETFs. Listen to this short clip.
Just in general, the XRP ETF, and I'm thinking XRP ETF and Ethereum ETF, which do you think is going to be the easier to sell to an investor coming in?
That's a tricky one. So whether we get an XRP ETF, of course, I don't know, and I can't speak to Bitwise's specific ETF. Broadly speaking, I think you have to look at, are people, how excited are people about each ecosystem? One of the things XRP has going for it is that there are people who are skeptical of it, and then there are people who are strongly bullish on XRP. I think one of the challenges Ethereum has had is it's more mixed, more people in this sort of nuanced position. You even heard my take, which was it could be a great time to buy if we see these conditional news environments. So I think an XRP ETF will resonate, particularly with the people who have been bullish on that space, but want exposure in an ETF format. And maybe the fervency of XRP bulls will make it attractive in terms of asset gathering out of the gate.
And I believe him. I hear a lot of people saying and speculating that Ethereum is dead. I don't know about that. I don't know if it's dead. I don't think it is. However, I do believe that it's sliding in its relevance, and it's going to lose the number 2 spot, I believe, this year for sure to XRP. But we shall see. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about that. Let's move on to the next one. And this article is from BN Crypto. XRP breaks out of 2025's biggest downtrend as short-term holders' dominance falls. This shift could mark the end of the persistent price decline that started in January, setting the stage for further growth. The dominance of short-term holders has significantly declined, indicating a positive shift in market dynamics for XRP. According to the HODL waves, the supply held by investors holding between 1 and 3 months has dropped from 12% to 6% in the span of 2 months. This shift suggests that more short-term holders are transitioned into mid-term holders, reducing the likelihood of immediate sell-offs. This maturation of holdings is a positive sign, as it indicates more stability and less selling pressure in the short term, stemming from confidence and price discovery. XRP's macro momentum is showing promising signs as the cryptocurrency pulls away from the potential death cross, which could have signaled a significant price decline. The 50-day EMA is currently trending upward, providing support for XRP as it moves away from its bearish territory. The candlesticks are also positioned above the 50-day EMA, signaling that the altcoin is gaining strength and may continue its upward movement. The pullback from the death cross and the upward movement of the 50-day EMA provide technical evidence that XRP's price could continue to rise. This shifting momentum, combined with improving market sentiment, suggests that XRP is setting itself up for a potential rally. Investors will closely watch these indicators as signs of further recovery. XRP is currently trading at $2.20. The article says $2.22. I'm reading from now. It's breaking out of a near 5-month-long descending wedge. If this breakout continues, it will mark the end of the largest downtrend of the year, which started back in January. The next key resistance is at $2.38, and a successful breakout above this level could signal further upward movement for XRP. If XRP maintains its current bullish trajectory, the altcoin could rise to 256 after breaking through the 238 resistance. Flipping 256 into support would further confirm the breakout and indicate that XRP is entering into a more sustained phase of growth. This would set the stage for continued price appreciation. However, on the flip side, if XRP fails to break the 238 resistance, the price could fall back to 202. Losing the 216 support level would invalidate the bullish thesis, signaling a potential reversal in sentiment and a resumption of the downtrend. The next few days will be crucial in determining whether XRP can maintain its upward momentum, or face further declines. And the big headline on this Wednesday is Ripple has proposed a takeover of rival stablecoin provider Circle for $4 to $5 billion. A bid that was rejected as too low. according to the people familiar with this matter. While Ripple remains interested in Circle, it hasn't decided whether to make another offer, said the people who asked not to be identified because the details aren't public. For its part, Circle is focused on following through on an initial public offering, or an IPO, that it filed for earlier this month. We do not comment on any market rumors, a spokesperson for Circle said in an emailed statement. As we are currently in a quiet period with the SEC, we cannot comment further on our corporate financial plans. Our long-term goals remain the same. And then a representative from Ripple has declined to comment. The offer comes as crypto deal-making accelerates following a run-up in digital token values, which has spurred several players to ramp up their IPO plans. Circle, BitGo, Gemini, and Bullish Global have all been considering going public as soon as this year. Bloomberg News has reported that Ripple agreed to buy the prime brokerage Hidden Road for $1.25 billion in April. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I think it's huge. I think the timing is interesting. You got Circle coming out as a competitor in the payments sector here, and then suddenly Ripple wants to buy them. I think the acquisition would be huge. I mean, we're already in the stablecoin market, and USDC is one of the top ones. If we could acquire that, that would be huge for Ripple. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. Do you think Ripple's going to come back with another offer? Let's talk about it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us down to the Ripple recap. We'll go ahead and start with the XRP price, sitting at $2.20, backed by a solid $128 billion market cap. We did see a minor pullback recently today, but nothing too crazy. XRP is bouncing back strong, showing real resilience. And you got Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse out here painting a bold future. He's talking about the new financial system and where you're going to get paid instantly every minute, every hour, something like that, instead of having to wait 2 weeks for a paycheck. Picture XRP powering lightning-fast global payments. This isn't just hype. Ripple's tech is already moving billions in cross-border transactions. And then we had the 1-hour liquidation surge, a surge of over 5,400% for the XRP long positions. That's right, the over-leveraged traders got crushed. And it's a stark reminder, crypto is a roller coaster, so make sure you manage your risk. And then we had Matt Hougan with ETF News, that's Bitwise's CIO. He's making waves saying that the XRP ETF could outperform Ethereum's ETF. Why? XRP's laser focus on payments, growing institutional interest, and increasing regulatory clarity gives it a unique edge, according to him. And then we've got for our chart fans here, we're breaking out. XRP is breaking out of the descending wedge pattern for the first time since January. For those non-techies, that is a super bullish signal. These breakouts often lead to big price pumps, and we're seeing stronger momentum, hopefully picking up some steam here. And then we had Ripple. This is the big news of the day. Ripple tried to buy Circle. They offered them $4 to $5 billion. But the company rejected it they basically said they're worth more than that. They said we were lowballing them. So Ripple's clearly hungry to dominate the stablecoin game with their RLUSD coin. A Circle acquisition would have definitely supercharged XRP's ecosystem, but this rejection isn't the end. What do you think, guys? Do you think they're going to come back with another offer and try to buy them again? Let me know in the comments. And we'll go and wrap it up. We got the XRP holding strong at 220 with a $128 billion market cap. We've got Garlinghouse's instant payment dream, a crazy liquidation event, ETF buzz, a technical breakout, and Ripple's bold acquisition play. The market's buzzing and sentiment is heating up. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's edition of the Daily Ripple. Stay sharp, stay informed, and remember, knowledge is your best trade. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay steady in the storm.